ask Commissioner Malier if she will open us with an invocation.
Yes, sir. Please join me in prayer. Lord, thank you so much for this beautiful day, and thank you for being here with us. Thank you for the rights we have in this wonderful country, including the rights to assemble and to govern ourselves. We have a lot of things on the agenda today that affect ourselves, our neighbors, our friends and family, our community. Please be with us as we make these decisions and help us to make our votes and our motions in fairness and in truth. In your name we pray, amen.
All right. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show we have a full quorum of commissioners. Commissioners, you have the minutes from the October 19th, 2021 meeting in your packet. If they, with your approval, I'll accept the motion.
Motion to accept.
Second.
In favor, raise your right hand. Johnson, I would say we talked about moving H3C.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I believe there was a request to pull item H3C from the consent agenda to the debate agenda. That item will now become item I3A. I'm sorry, it'd be IB3. Correct?
2B3?
Yep. IB3.
3.
3. All right. When you think I get there, let me know so make sure that I
Yes,
am
sir.
there.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome. We've had a couple of people request to speak, and what I'm going to do is just, when we get to that item, before we address it, let you get up and speak on those subjects. Again, we just want to welcome everyone here. Commissioners, we have the consent agenda in front of you. Each item has been through the necessary committees and received the 2 votes to be placed on this agenda, so if they still meet with your approval, I'll accept one motion to do so.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. On to the debate agenda. Item was tabled from October the 5th. Fresco Cafe.
Mr. Chairman, this was an item that we were waiting on the outcome from the state. I believe the applicant is here. Are there any questions?
Questions?
Okay.
Being no questions, Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion on that item. I make a motion to deny revoking Fresco Cafe's beer and wine license. Additionally, I make a motion to deny the application from Fresco Cafe for a distilled spirit license.
Second.
So the beer and wine goes forward, but the distilled spirits do not.
If you're denying revoking it, that means he'll keep the beer and wine. And I understand your motion is to deny the distilled spirits application.
That's correct.
Okay, so he would keep beer and wine and you're denying his distilled spirits application.
He can reapply at some point in time in
1 year.
1 year. He
He could-
could reapply for a
Distilled spirits, that's correct.
Questions? One motion or 2?
That's one motion. You have
That's
another
one
follow-
motion.
Right.
You have a follow-up motion, I think. Well,
No, he put them
you
together.
didn't. Together, sorry, you got to,
Is an additional,
yep, sorry.
it's one motion.
Yeah, you need.
No, it'd be
separate.
easy, it'd be better if you did them individually.
You want to?
Mr. Skinner, so if you could
Okay.
take the first motion
All right.
and act on that.
All right. First motion was to make a motion to deny revoking Fresco Cafe beer and wine license.
Second.
Beer and wine license. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Chair, the second motion is I make a motion to deny the application from Fresco Cafe for a distilled spirits license.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Next item is item A2, ordinance 21-07. I'll make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 21-07, amending Chapter 18 to create Chapter 18, Article 11, broadband community, ready community, excuse me.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy?
Yes, sir. This is the second reading of ordinance 2107. This is really just a necessity for us to get our designation as a broadband-ready community. Really what the designation does is indicates that Columbia County and Columbia County government has taken steps to reduce obstacles to broadband infrastructure development.
Questions? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Item A3, Mr. Chair. I make a motion to table the request for a major PUD revision to December the 21st, 2021.
Second. Is that the request?
Yes, sir.
More sooner than later. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Next we have item A1. Okay. I make it's item A1, VA 21-10-01. I make a motion to approve the request for a variance from section 90-53, list of lot and structure requirements for property located at tax map 081B, parcel 411, subject to the conditions enumerated in the October 21st, 2021 Planning Commission report.
Second.
So applicant has requested a 0 setback for the rear property line in order to build a deck. The rear property line is a common property line with the Westlake Golf Course. There is no rear neighbor to impact. 0 foot setback and not cross the property lines is the conditions that staff is recommending.
Questions?
Has there been any conversation with the property owner on the other side?
Westlake, I believe so, and I think they denied selling additional property.
But they're okay with the setback being like?
They've approved the HOA has approved the design. They're waiting for you to vote tonight to actually give the permit to build.
Questions? In favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Moving along, item A2, file RZ 21-1008. I make a motion to approve the request for a conditional use for tattoo for tax map 062, parcel 086R, subject to the condition enumerated in the October 21st, 2021 Planning Commission report.
Second.
You hear a request for a conditional use for tattoo studio at this location. It is for this suite only, not the entire parcel. Or lock it into that one address.
Questions? In favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Mr. Leo Price,
My name's Leo Price, 2411 Telfair Lane, Harlem, Georgia, Hattrick Glen subdivision. About a year ago, we were standing right here about rezoning all that PUD for the Green Point. Now we're here. First thing we said, we didn't want a bar or grill in that area. They want to rezone this for us rack and grill. That's a pool hall. Rack and grill, Martinez, all you, it's an industrial area. So we don't really watch Parkway. You go out on 56, it's an industrial area. No, it's not a place, not a restaurant and a game room. It's say what it is. It's a pool hall. There's more pool tables in each one of the thing, more lottery machines. Where you eat stands at a bar, hardly any tables in there to eat at. So we don't need a place in Greenpoint like that. I said y'all wouldn't do it. that's where we're at. First thing they want to put in the Greenpoint area is a rack and grill. Got to say.
Thank you, sir.
Sir. Jillian, ready?
Jillian Reddy, I reside at 41 McCall Street in Hepzibah. I'm a landscape architect with JLA here in Augusta. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of the owner, Ms. Heather, and the applicant. So having attended the Planning Commission meeting and read the staff report, the reason for disapproval is because of sewer access. It was said in the Planning Commission meeting that this was a state regulation that would prevent the owner with proceeding with a septic system design. We've found that not to be true. At JLA, we have designed multiple commercial grade septic tanks in the area, one being at Camp Lakeside in Lincolnton. That's a much larger system than the one we're proposing today. We've done preliminary research into the soils that exist on site, and we found that there's a sandy loam soil, which is suitable for a septic system. And I'd like to point out that our proposed system is larger than 10,000 gallons per day. At that point, it's not reviewed at a county level, it's reviewed at a state level by the Environmental Protection Division. Now, I have had preliminary conversations with them, and I've described the proposed use to them and the proposed size and the soils that exist on site, and they don't see any issues with moving forward in our design. And I have a statement from them agreeing to this. We are familiar with the permitting process, and we do understand that a level 3 soil will be required in order to move forward with the septic design. And we do plan on ordering one of those as soon as this rezone. So with that being said, since we have provided a viable sewer option, and since the staff did not have any issues with the land use proposed, and it is in accordance with the Vision 2035 future land use map, we do ask that you approve this rezoning so the owner can move forward with developing his lot.
I have a question about the planning and zoning.
I've heard from the health department, they actually made a statement that due to the high patron, high water usage, this parcel must be connected to county sewer. I have not been given anything saying they've backed off of that. Scott, have you heard anything? We're not aware of it. If you have something you can provide to us, but we have not received anything from the health department.
Come on back up.
I did ask the health department if they would consider septic, and they said they kind of were on a hands-off approach for this, and they said that it's the EP that reviews the drawings and makes the permit approval, so they would not make any action or approval or disapproval of this, so it's at a state level that this.
Our health department is a state, that's correct. Right, it's not a county agency, it's a state agency that made this condition to us. Why staff's reported to you that was a condition they placed on it.
Questions? Is there a motion?
Yes, sir. File RZ 21-1009. I make a motion to disapprove the request for a rezoning from RA to CC. Property located at tax map 029, parcel 042.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Item A4, file VA 211006. I make a motion to approve the request for a variance to section 90 53, list of lot and structural requirements. 90-132, non-conforming uses of land and structures for property located at tax map 072D, parcel 045, to reduce the building setbacks and to allow a proposed porch addition on a non-conforming lot, subject to the conditions enumerated in the October 21st, 2021 Planning Commission report.
Second.
Here you have this little history on this. Many years ago, we built a road connecting Bird Road over to La Vista through here. When we did this, we picked a location where there was a lot with no house on it. So we actually bought this piece of land here. In doing so, we left a remainder of this piece here. That lot is non-conforming. There is no way to build anything on that lot that fits our code. So they're asking for a variance to allow them to add a porch to an existing structure that sits pretty much on the property line. So the lot was created due to a county project. Therefore, they're having to ask for a variance to continue to use and add on to a building that's already there.
Questions?
The county purchased $25,000-$30,000.
Yeah, I forget what we paid. It's been 11, 12 years ago, somewhere in that area.
Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Item A5, BA 21-10-07. I make a motion to table the request for a variance to section 90-144, placement of buildings and structures for property located at tax map 078, parcel 252, till December the 21st, 2021.
Second.
This request is for a fence that is higher than our code allows, and we do have several of these variance requests. Staff is looking at them as a whole, not individually, so we're asking for you to allow us up until December 21st to come back with a solution that hopefully answers all the questions.
Same as the last meeting, basically.
Same idea, different fence height. The previous was a 10-foot fence. I believe they're asking for 12-foot here, so they're not exactly the same, but it's the same scenario.
The applicant here? Make sure they understood what we were doing.
The applicant is actually in Canada, so they did make us aware they would not be here tonight. We explained what we were asking commission to do, so.
Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Carries. I believe.
Make a motion to approve the engineering proposal from Goodwin Mills Kaywood LLC for water and sewer master plan in the amount of $197,000.
Second.
This is a complete view of our water sewer system, come with a master plan, doing hydraulic calculations, a big snapshot of what our system is, where it's going, what our capabilities are. All in about 3,000 man-hours of work that's gonna go into this plan. You had some concerns about staff being able to do a lot of it. I mean, 3,000 hours is tough to assign staff to do a task that large. Some capabilities that we do not have in-house as far as certain calculations. We don't have the expertise in that area, so we'd have to bring somebody in to help us with that if we were to try to take this on ourselves. So I think it's a worthwhile project. We're excited to get started on it.
If I can add to that, was there a comment?
This is all inclusive,
Yes, sir.
and it's still 50 weeks.
It's a big one. It's a lot of research has to be done. We've got about 350 man-hours of work we have to put in with them to provide them information they need. So it's going to take us time to get through this project.
1,000 hours, 50 weeks, that's a person and a half, full-time.
So just wanted to add here, with the rate that we're growing, taking on the Harlem system and with the amount of projects that we have going right now, also with commissioners asking, where do we want to put water lines? Where do we need to put sewer lines? There are a lot of, there could be a lot of implications to that. If you open up a gravity sewer line from here all the way to the lake, that would open up a lot of development from here all the way to the lake, right? So it's better to master plan this ahead of time. I will say that GMC, this company that is doing this, they reached out to do this for us, recently did Henry County's master plan. It was more expensive, much more expensive than ours. maybe a little more comprehensive as well. When we first started out this process, when Stacy reached out to them, they came back with a price to do the master plan, and it was considerably more expensive than this, almost double the price. And at the staff level, I said, no, we need to rein that in. I don't think we need all those bells and whistles. So we actually had them go back and pare it down to just make sure that we were only getting what we needed. And then they came back with this proposal, which we were much more comfortable with. I will also say that we had a surveillance call last week with one of our rating agencies that rated our water and sewer. As you know, we have a AAA bond rating on our general fund, but we also have one AAA bond rating with our water and sewer with one of the rating companies. This was the rating agency that was doing surveillance on us, and one of the questions they had for us is, do we either have a master plan or do we have one on the horizon? So this is something that AAA agencies do, master plan your system. So we did tell them it was on the agenda and that we would follow up after this meeting to let them know whether or not we were going to be doing a master plan.
What kind of time frame does this master plan cover? 20 years, 30 years?
Yeah, Stacy, was it 20 years?
It's 20 years.
Yeah, I thought it was 20 years. It's a 20-year snapshot. And for us, we know that a lot's going to change in 20 years. Our Vision 2035 plan, we've already had to, at the 5-year mark, we had to go in and make significant updates. So this is something that can be updated as we go. It's something that staff's going to have a tremendous amount of input in. It's something this board is going to have a tremendous amount of input in, because obviously we don't want to master plan something that's not the direction or the will of the commission. So we'll be coming to you trying to get some direction as well, as we're asking some of these questions. I believe they had some public input as well for this. Did they not have some public engagement? Yeah, so we have some public, so it'll be a process going through this master plan. They did a really good job in Henry County. Their document is sound. It's a really, really good planning tool.
In my perspective is that we always need to tread lightly when we talk about consultants.
Sure.
I always take a step back and say, do we have the capacity, do we have the technical ability to do it in-house? Because consultants will line up from here to the Savannah River, consult for us. Important to me that we do everything humanly possible to limit.
Well, Mr. Chairman, we're learning, because when they brought me the first proposal, I said flat no. It never got on an agenda for you to see.
Thank you.
So we're learning that process, that this board wants us to do as much as we can in-house, and that we don't want to engage consultants when we don't have to. This is one of those situations where we feel like we would benefit from it. And we have pared it down significantly from where it was. It was almost 600,000 originally. I didn't dare put that in front of this board.
I was a little nauseous just then.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's a motion, a second on the floor. Any other questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
I make a motion to approve the first reading of resolutions 21-40 and 21-41 to establish streetlight districts in Dolman, Longford, and Wicklow, and Canterbury Farms, and Whispering Pines, Section 4A, and authorize Georgia Power to proceed for their proposal.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Vice Chairman, I believe you have one more issue that you want
I believe this is the item that we
Correct.
consent agenda. This is an item that we had a lot of comment and questions, conversation committee. Made it to consent, but there was a interview with fleet manager after that. And so I received a call from someone that said something about the amount, and we could get more machinery for less money and whatever. So just to step back to make sure, I'd like to take the item, make sure that we're getting what we need in this piece of equipment. So I'd like to make a motion to table this for 2 weeks.
the next meeting.
Second.
Questions? By the way, all in favor, raise your right hand. On to the session, we have 3 property matters. Oh, do we, legal items, sorry.
No legal items.
Ripping us through tonight, aren't I? There are no requests by committee. Is any public comments? You're not part of the public, you're elected.
Hey, I thought I saw somewhere where, on the Knights Way, they were requesting a fee waiver or something. Was that, did I miss?
I'd have to look at it too, Mr. Vice Chair. I don't believe I saw it. Did you see it, Scott?
Maybe I missed,
You may have seen something that we didn't see.
the Knight Way
That'd be La Vista?
La Vista Drive.
Drive.
Was there a request for a fee waiver? Okay, it didn't make it to the motion, so, it would be up to this body as to whether or not you want to take that item up or not. You could take no action, or you could go back and take action up or down on it. It wasn't presented to you, so, but you, either way.
Table it to the next meeting?
I'm good. I just wanted, I mean, if they had a request, I wanted to address it so they would know one way or another, but
You wouldn't need to table it, Mr. Chairman, because it didn't make it to the agenda. So it'd be an item that we'd have to place on an agenda for a future meeting if it's something this board wanted to hear. They made a request, but just because somebody makes a request doesn't necessarily mean it makes it to the agenda. And I believe in this case it was an oversight. It certainly wasn't anything that we said no to. But I could fix that.
Next agenda.
Yes, sir.
Fair enough.
okay.
Now the executive session.
Okay.
3 property matters.
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve $53,300 to Mill Branch Investments LLLP, tax parcel number 062-085, right-of-way permanent and temporary easement, Rising South Parkway Road widening project.
Second.
Questions?
Make a motion to accept the donation from Annie V. Holly Anderson, tax map 077C022, for permanent easements for the Shaw Street stormwater upgrade.
Second.
Questions? Favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
I make a motion to approve the quitclaim deed of release of a permanent easement for Emmanuel and Samantha Hernandez, tax map 077G.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Next meeting is November 16th. How about that 6:30?
The 6. Must be a typo on theirs. Here's right.
Any other motions?
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. We're adjourned.